Most people throw away the best part of the shrimp without realizing it. Not just the shells. Even the heads can turn into something incredibly rich and flavorful. And honestly, once you see the final result, you may never cook shrimp the old way again. As soon as you buy fresh shrimp, try to clean and cook them right away. If they stay in the refrigerator too long, the shrimp meat will slowly lose its natural sweetness, and the heads and shells will also lose that fresh aroma. For today's recipe, the freshness of the shrimp is truly important. The moment I saw these fresh shrimp, I immediately thought of a dish that can use almost the entire shrimp without wasting anything at all. And today, I want to show you that recipe. Once the shrimp are cleaned, you already have a beautiful plate of fresh shrimp ready for today's recipe. Just looking at the lightly glossy shells and the translucent shrimp meat already makes this dish look incredibly promising. Now let's start preparing them. First, remove the shrimp heads and set them aside. But don't throw them away yet, because later the shrimp heads will become the most flavorful part of today's dish. Next comes peeling the shrimp shells. Count 1, 2, 3. Right at the third shell section of the shrimp, gently crack the shell and slide your thumb underneath. Then simply push upward lightly and the shell will almost come off in one large piece. It feels incredibly easy. Next, do the same thing with the shell near the tail. Just bend it slightly and pull it away gently. And what I love most is that the shrimp meat stays whole and beautiful instead of getting torn or broken apart while peeling each small shell section one by one. Before long, the entire plate of shrimp is fully peeled. And now on the table there are 3 separate plates. One plate holds the fresh shrimp meat, one plate holds the shrimp heads, and the last plate contains all of the shrimp shells. And the special part today is that we are not throwing away any of it. First, let's start with the shrimp heads. I already cleaned the shrimp heads beforehand. If everyone is interested, leave a comment below and I'll show you how to clean shrimp heads quickly and properly. Now add a little crushed garlic into a pot and sauté until fragrant. There is no need to use too much. Just a few cloves are enough to bring out the aroma of the shrimp heads later on. Once the garlic becomes lightly golden and fragrant, add all of the shrimp heads to the pot. Now stir everything well. As soon as the shrimp heads hit the heat, they begin turning a beautiful reddish-orange color, and the aroma changes immediately. This is an extremely important step, because if you add water too early before the shrimp heads are fully sautéed, the broth can easily taste fishy and lack depth of flavor. Continue stirring until the shrimp heads are almost fully cooked before adding the water. Simmer for about 15 minutes so the shrimp heads release all of their natural sweetness into the broth. While the shrimp broth is simmering, let's start cooking the rice. For this dish, I really like using a glass pot, because this type of pot seals heat and steam very well. First, add a little olive oil to the pot. Then, add a few whole garlic cloves. Sauté gently until the garlic becomes lightly golden and fragrant. After that, pour 1 full cup of rice into the pot. Make sure it is a full cup. Stir gently so each grain of rice is lightly coated with the olive oil and garlic aroma. It may seem like a very small step, but once the rice is finished cooking, you'll notice the fragrance is completely different from regular rice. Next, use that same cup to measure the water. For 1 full cup of rice, add exactly 1 full cup of water. Now gently stir the rice one last time, then cover the pot with the lid. Keep the heat very low and let everything cook slowly. And when you finally open the lid, wow, it looks absolutely beautiful. Each grain of rice looks lightly glossy, plump, and rich with aroma. Not greasy or oily, but covered with a light shine that looks incredibly appetizing. Just looking at it already makes it feel like much more than an ordinary pot of rice. And now you have two options for the shrimp. If you prefer a lighter flavor and want to keep the shrimp's natural sweetness as pure as possible, you can steam the shrimp directly with the rice. Simply place the shrimp meat on top of the hot rice and cover the lid again for about 3 minutes. No extra water, no extra oil. The heat from the rice itself will slowly cook the shrimp perfectly. When you open the lid, the bright red shrimp sitting on top of the white rice look absolutely beautiful. The shrimp meat curls slightly looks glossy and smells wonderfully fresh and natural. But if you prefer a slightly richer flavor, place a skillet on the stove and sauté some garlic until fragrant. As soon as the garlic aroma begins to rise, add the shrimp and stir well. The sizzling sound together with the hot, savory aroma instantly makes the kitchen feel much more alive. Just a little salt and black pepper are enough, because fresh shrimp honestly does not need much seasoning. The best flavor already comes from its own natural sweetness. Cook until the shrimp turns a beautiful reddish-orange color and becomes slightly firm. Gently transfer the shrimp onto a plate, and now you have two completely different styles of shrimp. One side is soft steamed shrimp with a light natural sweetness. The other side is garlic shrimp with a richer and more savory flavor. Now gently fluff the rice. The steam rising from the rice carries such an incredible aroma. Do you eat rice often? If you ever have the chance, try this dish at least once. But wait, there is still one very special ingredient we haven't used yet. The shrimp heads have been simmering on the stove. Now strain all of the broth through a sieve, and if you want the broth to become even clearer and cleaner, place an additional clean cloth over the strainer. The golden orange broth slowly drips down, and honestly, it looks beautiful. This is truly the most flavorful part of the entire shrimp. The aroma is rich, the sweetness is deep, and everything tastes completely natural. What I enjoy most is the feeling of not wasting anything at all. From the shrimp heads to the shells, everything eventually becomes something that makes the dish taste even better. Now pour this shrimp broth back into the same skillet used earlier for the shrimp. Once the broth begins to simmer gently, reduce the heat to low. Then mix 1 teaspoon of cornstarch with a little water. Stir well and slowly pour it into the broth. Just a few seconds later, the liquid begins to thicken into a light glossy sauce that looks incredibly appetizing. And now comes the most beautiful moment. Gently drizzle the sauce over the rice. The hot sauce slowly coats each grain of white rice, runs between the bright red shrimp, and releases an incredibly rich aroma. And don't forget to sprinkle a little green onion on top. Honestly, it's hard to describe the feeling at this moment. This is the kind of meal where, while it's still hot, all it takes is sitting down and taking one bite to instantly feel comforted. And as for the shrimp shells, in reality, shrimp shells contain chitosan and many natural minerals that are very beneficial for the body. And the interesting part is that we can completely turn them into an incredibly fragrant seasoning. First, place all of the shrimp shells into the air fryer. Make sure to spread them out evenly and avoid stacking the shells on top of each other. If the layer is too thick, the shells will not dry evenly. Then dry them at 210 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius for about 40 minutes. And when you open the air fryer, the shrimp shells are now completely dry, crispy, and beautifully reddish orange in color. Just lightly crushing them already gives that satisfying, crunchy sound. Now place everything into a blender and grind it very finely. Just a few minutes later, the shrimp shell powder is ready. Next, transfer the powder into a clean seasoning jar for storage. You can use it for soups, porridge fried rice, stir-fried noodles, or lightly sprinkle it over seafood dishes to enhance the aroma and natural sweetness. So in the end, from the shrimp meat to the shrimp heads and even the shells, nothing goes to waste at all. And honestly, that is also my favorite part about today's recipe. If you enjoy recipes that make full use of ingredients like this, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue sharing more delicious meals, helpful kitchen tips, and interesting cooking ideas every day.